a beautiful stotra, beautiful line by a great enlightened master, Ramana Maharshi. Let me repeat the words and then I will translate. Amazing line. Tandadu Yendanai Kondadu Undanai Sadurar Yargolo Arunachala. This is a verse in Tamil. He says, I gave me and mine and got you and what you are having. Who is the winner in this game? Tell me, Arunachala. Tell me, O Lord. Understand? I gave up I and mine, but achieved what you and what you are having. Now who is the winner in this game? You got only what I had. See, normally what you will have? Sarira Rogamaya, Mana Sogamaya, Atma Dukkhamaya. That's all. This three is your property. Sarira Rogamaya means the body with sickness. As long as you have head, you will have headache. As long as you have knee, you will have knee pain. As long as you have body, it will be Rogamaya. Sarira Rogamaya, Mana Sogamaya. Mind means depression. Understand? If you don't have depression, you will feel something missing in you. Now if you don't have anything to worry, suddenly you feel empty in a vacuum. And you are thinking, what is happening? I am not having anything to worry. What is going on in me? And you feel lonely. And you catch something and start worrying. Manas Sogamaya and Atma Dukkhamaya. Your inner space filled with pain and sufferings. This is what is our property. When we surrender these things to an enlightened being, an enlightened master, the Arhanta, let us see what is his properties. Sarira Tejomaya means Sarira with which they are not even connected. Tejomaya means the conscious, filled body. See, there is a beautiful verse which says Mahavir's body is filled with milk. Understand, it's a metaphysical example. You need to understand, it means he is filled with a consciousness. Do not visualize in a physical way. Oh, if he is filled with milk. The story says when a snake has bitten him, only milk came out of his body. It's a metaphysical example. If you start thinking, oh, if he is filled with the milk, then what will happen if it becomes butter, if it becomes ghee? Don't think in an ordinary physical way. Try to understand the truth behind the story. He is filled with such a overflowing consciousness. Milk is considered as a very sacred thing, auspicious thing in those days. That's why they use the milk as a simile example to say is overflowing. Sarira Tejomaya means the body which is filled with consciousness, overflowing. That is why it doesn't feel like covering with cloth. He is radiating, liberated. Does not need to cover itself. You see, we cover our body because we feel it's ugly. Really. We don't feel completely settled inside our boundary. We always want to change the dimensions of our body. Some way, the moment you think somebody is beautiful, be very clear, you are not completely comfortable with your body. The moment you think somebody is beautiful, I am not talking about the male getting attracted towards the female. No. I am talking about male feeling, this guy is so handsome. I should look like him. Female feeling, oh, she is so beautiful. I should look like her. The moment you start appreciating somebody else's body, means you are not completely comfortable with your dimensions. You try to work on your dimensions. Be very clear. The other person may be handsome or beautiful, but you can't enjoy just even a cup of coffee through that body. You can't enjoy even a cup of coffee through that body. You have to experience only through this body. Sarira Tejomaya means filled with consciousness, completely comfortable inside your body. Stiram Sukham is called Tejomaya. If you are completely settled and completely comfortable, then it is Tejomaya. Mana, Masters doesn't have mind. So, there is no description about mind. Atma, Anandamaya. Radiating the bliss. Understand? If you surrender whatever you have, actually what you have, we don't have even something worthy of surrendering. That is the truth. We don't even have actually something worthy to surrender also. And we may think that we have something. All you need to do is have a little bit of intelligence of what you really have. Simply you will surrender. All I am telling you is just see the accounts properly with the open eyes. You will surrender. You will realize Shariras Rogamaya, Manas Sogamaya, Anma Dukkhamaya. Simply you will surrender. You will surrender. There is a beautiful sutra in which Mahavir is speaking about the past life. Maybe when we come upon the sutras, we will talk about that. The Bhashyakara, the later Acharyas, they are explaining beautifully. The intelligence about the past life will help you to surrender, because you will understand you are doing the same nonsense again and again. Again and again you are creating wealth. By the time you created the wealth, you are gone and finished. Then again you start the same game. By the time you feel enough and you relax, you are no more. When you get this intelligence, you are doing the same nonsensical game again and again. You decide, now I am not going to do the same game. Enough. It is time to break free from this circle. This Janana Marana, the Samsara Bandha. You decide to liberate yourself. When you offer whatever you have with the word Namo, Na Mama, let me surrender that I and me at the feet of Arhantas, immediately you will achieve what they have. See, to tell you honestly, surrendering is the best way to get the ultimate thing. When you offer whatever you have, simply no other way, they have to open whatever they have. It's no other way. No other way. The moment you open up, they have to open up. Somebody told me that knock and it shall be opened. I tell you, you don't even have to knock. He is standing in your door. Just open, he will come in. He is knocking. All you need to do is, you need to open your doors. That's all. You don't even have to go to his door and knock. He is knocking at your doors. Open, nothing else. When you open, he has to open, and he is already open. Surrender the I and mind, Sarira Rogamaya, Manas Sogamaya, and Anma Dukkhamaya, and achieve Sarira Tejomaya and Manas Sukhamaya. Of course, when it becomes Sukhamaya, you can't call that as a mind. The idea, the name mind will be lost when it becomes Sukhamaya. Anma Anandamaya means bliss, filled with bliss. That is what the word Namo means. I offer I and mine to Arhantas. Actually, it's a wonderful business. Best bargain. Offering you and achieving them. You can't imagine. The best bargain. I bow in reverence to the Arhantas. I bow in reverence to Siddhas, liberated souls. I bow in reverence to acharyas who keep the tradition alive. Understand? Even if somebody is not enlightened, if he is working for enlightenment, he is also worthy of respect. That is the important thing you need to understand. See, if 100 people are running, only one will win. But that does not mean the people who ran, they are not worthy of your respect. One person can win only if 100% can run. If you stop the very tradition of running just because 99 are defeated, you can't expect that one person who will win. No. Only if thousands of people dedicate their life, that group consciousness, group energy which gives inspiration for people to run, one or two may achieve. So understand, if I have achieved something in my life, it is not just by me. All the sannyasis, all the sadhus, all the acharyas, they all have contributed to me, directly or indirectly. Even the confidence which I received by seeing them was reason for me to continue my running, continue my journey. I always tell people, understand, my enlightenment or whatever I achieved is the gift from this whole tradition. When I see so many sadhus, so many enlightened, so many Mahatmas, so many Swamis, I got the confidence, I should also become Swami. I should also take up this life. The group indirectly inspires you and gives you the confidence and courage. Recently we had a Kumbh Mela in India. I took all my brahmacharis and swamis, told them all of you should come. They asked, why Swamiji? We have so much of work in the ashram. One batch can go and one batch can be here. I said no. Only when you see 2 million sadhus, this Kumbh Mela is attended by 2 million sadhus. Totally, the estimated crowd is 90 million and 2 million sadhus and sannyasis. I told them, only when you see the 2 million sadhus, you will understand and have courage and confidence on this philosophy of sannyas. So acharyas are also responsible for enlightened beings happening on the planet Earth. For people achieving the Arhanta state and Siddha state. That is the reason we bow down to acharyas also. And I bow in reverence to Ubadhyayas. Whoever is carrying that philosophy, whoever is carrying those truths, he may not have experience in his life. A librarian may not have read all the books and become an intelligent person in his life, but he takes care of the library for other people to experience. If somebody becomes a great scientist by using a library, the librarian also has contributed. He himself may not have become a scientist, but the person who preserved all the literature, he is also responsible for that scientist. So, we bow down in reverence to all the Ubadhyayas. I bow in reverence to all sadhus, all the monks and nuns who have dedicated their life to this goal. Understand? This is the only tradition which respects the people who are even traveling in the path of enlightenment. Let me be very honest. In Buddhism, Buddham Saranam Gacchami, Dhammam Saranam Gacchami, Sangham Saranam Gacchami. That's all. Buddha is respected and his teachings are respected and his Sangha, his community is respected. Of course, in community you may add the word, the people who are enlightened or the teachers who are carrying the truth, they are respected. But here, Mahavir takes one step further. I bow in reverence to all sadhus. Namo Sarva Sahunam. This actually great inspiration for all the people who are in the path, in the spiritual journey. He says, I bow in reverence to even the sadhus, monks and nuns who are working towards the great goal, great truth. And the next line, beautiful line, this fivefold salutation destroys all sins naturally. When you respect the great masters, the idea to respect their teachings also starts growing in you, and those teachings will naturally destroy all the sins engrams in your life. Understand, sins does not mean the acts which you committed, it is engrams which you carry, samskaras which you carry, that is sins. When you bow down, when you offer the eye and mind to Arhanta, simply the samskaras which you carry will be destroyed. Patanjali says beautifully, you don't have to create a canal to get water. Just remove the obstruction. The water will flow towards you. So you don't have to achieve enlightenment. Remove the obstructions which you are having, the eye and mind. You will have enlightenment. It will simply happen in you. You are only just stopping it. The eye and mind is the blockage. Surrender it at the feet of Arhantas. Arhanta is alive. It is difficult to surrender. You will be afraid that he may take it away. It is very difficult to surrender when a master is living. Now, we don't even have that problem. See, let me tell you a small story. One blind man, he was trying to find a stick for walking. So he was searching something. Somehow by mistake he got a frozen snake. He was staying in Himalayas, in the cold. The snake was frozen. He thought that is a stick and started using it for walking. One enlightened being saw this and told, hey, drop that. In 1 hour when the sun comes, the snake will come back to life and it will bite you. You will be killed. Please drop that snake. You are not carrying a stick, you are carrying a snake. That guy said, no, I know it is a snake. You take care of your work, leave me. And the master said, no, you are carrying a snake, leave it. Then that guy started shouting, I think you don't have a stick. That's why you are asking me to drop. The moment I drop, you may pick up this stick. And master told no. Master forced him to drop the stick. And this guy started beating the master with the same snake. Understand? Same way, when Arhantas say, drop eye and mind, you may think that, I think he doesn't have, that's why he is asking me to drop, he may pick it up when I drop. If I drop this too, he may take it away. No. He is not asking you to drop for himself. And now we don't even have that problem. We have only his presence. So understand, sincerely offer yourself at the feet of these great masters. You will see the conscious transformation starts from this moment. From this moment. Whatever samskaras, sins you have, will be washed away, will be destroyed. And amongst all auspicious things, this is the most auspicious one. Understand? Best thing you can ever do in your life is dropping your eye and mind at the feet of enlightened beings. The sutra says the best thing which can happen to your life is dropping the eye and mind at the feet of Arhantas.